Hi, I'm Ben Shaner with Bash TSA, and today we're going to go over how you can select only one element in your CSS file, and also how you can position different elements on a web page. So let's get started. Okay, so we have a web page, and it has a header 1 and 3 different paragraphs on it. So there's several different ways that you can select only one paragraph. So let's select this first paragraph here and give it a background color of red. So one way of selecting it is you can use an ID. Just do that by typing ID, enter, and putting quotes around it. So let's make it red, we'll call it. You can call it whatever you want as long as it's specific. ID should only be used once on a web page. It's considered bad practice to use them more than once. If you want to use them more than once, you should go to what is called a class. Works the same exact way, except instead of typing ID, you type class. Okay, so with that selected, we'll save that file and come over here. So to select your ID, you just hit the pound key, and then you type in your ID you need. Since we called it red, we're going to type red, open up the brackets, and let's make the background color red. You should always try and define your IDs as specifically as possible, so that way if you have to go back and change something, it's really easy to know what's going on. And as you can see, changed it for the entire row. But let's say you wanted to select the first paragraph and the third paragraph down. To do that, we come back out here to our text editor, and this time we're going to call it a class of red. While using an ID still would work, it's not best practice, so we're not going to do it that way. Okay, now that we have 2 paragraphs selected, I know I said the third one earlier, but we'll change that. You come back over here to styles, and instead of using the pound key for ID, you just use a dot for class. With that, you can see we have both of them selected, but there's that line of blue in the middle. To get rid of that, you can either change the line height and several different things with it, or you can use a div. What a div is it's a new tag that sections out the page, and you can apply different attributes to it. So to demonstrate that, we'll come back over here to our text editor, and we'll put a div around it. Just real simple, type in div, and we'll give it an ID of, let's make it purple. Close that, because we're putting these inside. We'll tab in to make it look nice. Come back down here, and we'll close the div. And if we come back over here, we'll just select it, purple, open up the tag, and we'll give it a background color of purple. Okay, so with that saved, we come back over to our file, and you can see it added the purple background color. That was really easy. And it would even work the same way for the third paragraph. But it's repetitive, so we're not going to demonstrate that. Anyway, let's say you wanted to add a background color to the header element, and then you wanted to reposition it on the right side of the page. That's easy to do. So with positioning, there's several different ways you can do it. So first of all, let's add our background color there. We'll make it nice green just to show where it's at. And then we're going to position it. So you type in the word position with a colon. And then there's different options like absolute, relative, and fixed. There's a few more, but they're not usually used. At least I don't. So for this, let's use absolute. Then you have to define your top, bottom, left, and right. This tells it where on the page it is. Depending on which method you used, fixed, relative, or absolute, depends on how these work. So let's try right 10 pixels. Once again, you can define these the same way as you do your font size with ems and inches and all that stuff. So as you can see, it moved it all the way over to this side of the page, 10 from the left. It also made everything jump down. That's because we positioned it, and when you position it, it jumps out of line. The one downside about positioning is that you lose the inline file structure. So let's just go real quick and we'll float it to the right. Yeah. And we'll comment and take out these two lines here. Save it. And what it should now do is it should be in the same position all the way on the right. You can also position up and down and left and right this way. So you can center it on the page, or you can position it 10 pixels up from the bottom. In our next video, we're going to go over how you can learn more about CSS and resources for just general CSS reference. Until then, I'm Ben Shanner, and we'll see you next time.